We're live. This is so exciting.
And live in person.
This is so fun. Yes. So for all of you that don't follow Hallmarkies or on Stage Blog, you might not know. So this is my friend Jacqueline. Yay! And we have over on Hallmarkies, we have covered pretty much everything Sarah Jessica Parker has done.
Her whole filmography. We're working our way through it.
Yeah. And it's been so fun. And then we are the co-hosts of the Onstage Blog Theater podcast. And we just had an episode on Sweeney Todd that posted. That's really fun. And we'd like to dive into all kinds of theater topics. Yeah.
And we're seeing lots of shows together.
Yes. And so she's here for a visit. And so we thought it'd be fun to do a little live stream. And we'll, talk a little bit about the trip and everything else going on. But I guess since this is, I don't know if you've been on Rachel's reviews, except for Theater Tuesdays you did. But yeah, so it's very fun. And what do you think? What's your first impressions of Utah? How do you feel?
Oh, I love Utah. The mountains, like when Rachel and I have been driving, we were stuck in traffic. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's so beautiful. Look at the mountains. And you're like, oh yeah, I realize the mountains are really beautiful. In-N-Out, first In-N-Out experience, which was Chef's Kiss. So good.
Yeah.
We saw Evil Dead the musical last night, which was so fun. They did a great job. Sanctuary Theater.
Fun. Sanctuary Theater Company. Yeah, they were a blast. This was definitely the best thing I've ever seen from them. And we're going to have a lot of fun because we're doing a whole episode of Onstage Blog Theater podcast on Evil Dead the musical, so you want to make sure you're subscribed over there. But we're gonna have my friend Mark Woodring on, and he's seen it like I think a dozen times. Yeah,
he really knows his Evil Dead, and he saw this production not with us, but he saw it before, so that's kind of nice that we'll get to talk about it.
So if anybody joins the stream, we have the chat room open. There's also the super chat if you feel so inclined.
What's a super chat?
Super chat, that's just like a way if you like you can basically give give a little bit of money. And we'll give you you can ask like a special question or something like that.
That's cool.
For the super chat, which it's just nice.
I like it. Yeah. I'm all about a super chat.
So we're gonna, and then we're also going to the two shows that we're gonna see today. We're gonna do another episode just kind of on the whole trip.
Yeah.
So there'll be 2 episodes of the podcast on this Utah trip.
Yeah.
And so that should be really fun. And I'm really excited because I'm then going to New York in December. So next month, it's kind of a family trip. We're going sort of to honor my grandma, who is so special to all of us. And so me and my cousins and my aunts and things like that all going. But I'm very excited because I am going to be reviewing just for my own site. I'm going to be reviewing 2 Broadway shows, and they have comped tickets and everything.
I mean, that's incredible.
I was shocked, that they were so willing, and especially because they're both brand new. Yeah. The revival of Elf the Musical, and the I think it's Wonderful World.
Yeah,
is what it's called.
They're both hot tickets.
Yeah, I was thrilled. I was like, wow.
It's not like they're desperate for people to come. I was like, oh, hey, y'all.
I know. So I'm really excited to get to see both of those, and then I'll definitely see the Rockettes. Because that was like a big thing for my grandma. She loved the Rockettes.
They're so great.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, the Rockettes are incredible.
Amazing. So I'm going to see that, the Spectacular, and I hope to squeeze in maybe 2 more shows. I'd like to squeeze in because I'm seeing Wonderful World on Thursday afternoon, and I'd really like to see a show Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then if I could squeeze in a show on Monday night, because I get in around 4. So it's like, if I could squeeze it in.
You're directly from the airport to the theater.
Yeah, pretty much. But I would love to see, my hope is maybe see Great Gatsby. And I mean, I would love to see either Sunset Boulevard or Gypsy. But yeah.
They're both so epic.
Yeah.
So epic.
Yeah. Just because I'm curious to see, and I feel like it's one that people both of those are ones that people are going to want to be talking about.
Yeah. They're really iconic shows with these tour de force women in the leads, which is really incredible.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that the Sunset Boulevard with all the video, that's the thing.
That is interesting.
The only time that I've seen that kind of video that I really liked working into a show was a production of Hairspray. where they had the Corny Collins show. They had a live feed that was recording what was happening, and then it was
that's cool.
Yeah, and then it was broadcast on a big screen that looked like a TV in the background. So while everything's happening, you've got this live kind of, and that was
I love that because that's
incredible.
Also like it makes sense.
It feels like a studio. Yeah.
I love that.
So that was really incredible. But I don't know. So
we know
see.
Audra McDonald is gonna slay.
Well, yeah, of course for Gypsy, and I've never seen Gypsy, so I haven't seen Sunset Boulevard either.
I haven't seen Sunset Boulevard. Gypsy is so great. Like it's gonna be epic.
Yeah, I mean Sunset Boulevard is my big last. I mean, because I'm seeing Cats next week, so I'll check that off. And so Sunset Boulevard is the big last Lloyd Webber show that I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't seen Bad Cinderella, but as far as his major stuff,
I feel like those.
And I haven't seen Jesus Christ Superstar, so I guess those are the two.
I would feel like people around here do that a lot. They don't.
No, because it's so like. Because it's like the hard rock take on, but it was here, and I actually am going to get a chance to see that next year. The Grand, I was talking about the Grand Theater. They're doing it next spring, so I will get a chance to see it. Yeah, the national tour came through, and I regret it very much that I didn't see it at the time. Who
was Jesus in that? Do you know? Was it someone? I didn't know if it was someone famous.
It probably was, and I just don't remember. But anyway, so but I've seen most everything else from Andrew Lloyd Webber. I've seen Evita, I've seen Phantom, I've seen
I love Evita. Evita is one of my favorites. I saw Ricky Martin in it, and he was actually really good.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Yeah, he did the whole thing. My mom was screaming. She was like, "I can't believe it's him." I was like, yeah, that's right.
I've seen it twice. I've seen Evita twice. Once was just recently in like May at the Empress, and the men were a little bit struggling in that production, but like the Evita she was amazing.
That was probably incredible. I feel like you have to have a really good like Ava Perón to do the show.
Yeah.
You wouldn't pick it otherwise.
And I really did enjoy it, and they were really. I always appreciate when like a theater company I could tell is really pushing themselves.
Yes.
Like this is and just like. When I can walk away being like, that was the best that they could do. Right.
Like they left it all in the dance floor.
Like I might not even in the end kind of like it. Like it might be a not for me, but at least I can say they tried their darndest.
They tried.
And I could appreciate that.
They tried.
Yeah. And they certainly did. But yeah. And then of course, Starlight Express, I loved so much.
Yes. Starlight Express is
highlight of this year for theater.
Where did you see that?
So I saw it. It's called the Leona Academy. It's a high school.
Oh, nice.
And I'm actually I think I'm going back there pretty soon to see they're doing Hadestown Jr. So
I didn't know there was a Hadestown Jr. Oh my gosh, what's that gonna look like?
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't usually go to a lot of high school productions because. I don't know. I mean, it just feels a little bit silly to like critique.
Right. Well, it is really full.
The whole point is they're learning, and the biggest difference. I mean, the high school productions can be unbelievable here, but almost always they're in these huge auditoriums because it's a high school.
Yeah.
And the sound is almost always bad, and which is so frustrating because it's like, oh, I want to hear. Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know what's going on.
But yeah, I mean that I would say 9 times out of 10, that's the problem with high school productions is it's just amplified by the fact they're in these huge auditoriums, and so
they just like swallow sound.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish that high schools would just do more straight plays. Yes. I don't know. There's just so many less moving parts and I don't know. It just seems like
I would have loved to have that opportunity in high school. We only did musicals, and I love doing musicals, but I wish we could have done like every year do a musical and a straight play.
But we definitely want to do an episode. I've thought about this many times of on Stage Blog of our recommendations for high school.
Oh yeah,
I think what shows are good for high schools to do because
ask us. We have suggestions.
because And I actually have a lot of friends who work in, high school theater, so that would be fun guests. But because I think that certain shows are just so much better for high school than other
Yeah.
shows because they have big ensembles. That's what you
Yes.
want. You want to just add another person to the crowd so that they get a
100%.
chance to
Yeah.
participate. And so, that's why I think Music Man is good. That's why I think Barbara Birdie is good. That's why, those shows that have a lot of crowd scenes.
Yeah. One of my students goes to LaGuardia, and they're doing Into the Woods, and I'm like, no, that she's been on Broadway and she didn't get cast in her high school production because there's no room, and she's not. It's the seniors and the juniors, and I'm like, if you did a bigger show,
yeah, because Into the Woods has literally no ensemble scenes.
Yeah,
there's not a single scene in that. It's all individual solos. All. So it's a weird choice. Well, I thought it would be fun for us to. I'm gonna can I share my screen here? Let's see here. No. Oh, here, share screen.
I love this.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, I thought it would be fun to. There we go. Got it. Okay, we're gonna take some tests to see, are we Elphaba or are we Glinda? But we have to. It's kind of it's consensus pick, so we have to agree.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Okay, first question on this one: what season do you look forward to each year?
I can be persuaded, but for me, it's fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you?
For me, it would be summer, just because the most sun and and I can swim.
I could do summer also because I get excited as we're going into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could say summer.
Okay. All right. Who is your favorite of these Tony Award-winning musicals? What is your favorite? Moulin Rouge, Hadestown, Dear Evan Hansen, and Hamilton. I would say Hamilton out of these four.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, this is an unpopular opinion. I admired Hadestown, and it's beautiful to look at, but I thought it was a little boring.
It kind of, here's the thing.
Unpopular opinion. The story, I was just kind of like, I don't love it.
It's interesting because I saw Andre Shields in it, and he was so amazing, so I was captivated the whole time.
Yeah.
But I will say, I had done a production of Metamorphoses, which is like the Eurydice story, and I always kind of felt like there's something about it that also doesn't click for me as much, so I could see that.
Yeah. But Moulin Rouge was fine. It was fine. I thought it was totally bland.
Yeah.
It didn't do much for me. And then Dear Evan Hansen, I love the cast recording, I think, more than the show.
Yeah.
I love the songs.
And it was our Halloween costume.
It's sweet, and it has you have to just kind of take it at face value.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like overthink
Get in the weeds too much.
I hate when people say that, overthink it, because you should think about these things. But
you can't overthink.
But it really is just meant to be sincere and just this white lie that went out of control.
Yep.
But it is problematic. Of course it is. Oh, we got some comments here. Let's see. I'd be curious what your thoughts are on the Wicked trailer, complete with actual singing. I thought it was good. I thought it was visually beautiful and well acted. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me about Wicked, the movie, that I'm nervous about is the splitting into two parts.
Exactly.
That's the part that I'm the most concerned of, because it's such a. Actually, I'm not as much concerned for this movie. I'm concerned for the next movie, because Act 2 of Wicked there's 3 new songs, and then almost all reprises after that. So how do you make a whole movie after Defying Gravity? How do
after Defying Gravity?
It just seems crazy to me. And there's a couple parts of the trailer that I'm really confused by. Why do they have Dorothy in the Yellow Brick Road in the trailer? Shouldn't that be in the next movie?
Yes.
Because it's it's a prequel. So
it's a prequel.
What?
Yeah.
I was confused by that, but I mean, I'm the world's biggest softie when it comes to movie musicals. I even like Dear Evan Hansen, so there you go.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either.
It's not great, but it has
it does its job.
It does its job. but anyway, I'm a softie. I liked the prom. I liked, and even had kind of wicked fun. Not wicked in this sense, but like this is bizarre fun
Yes.
with cats because it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so strange.
You're like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but it's all happening.
It's like what? It was unique. So anyway, I'm a super softie, so I'm sure I'll still like the movie.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if I like hate it. But that's my biggest concern is the two parts.
It's interesting what Jeremiah is saying. The one complaint was infamous bit where Elphaba said, "I am."
I am. She I am wicked.
Yeah.
She really did seem to be realizing for the first time that she was green. Oh, that she was green. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
That. It was odd and quite funny. People in my theater chuckled. I think that it's not that she realized it. I think she was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, duh, kind of a feeling.
It's interesting when stuff like that doesn't quite read, though, when you're like, oh, all right. Like, I could see how that would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it will be fun. I mean, it's bizarre that they waited until this last trailer to finally show actual singing. That made me laugh.
Well, it's like with the Mean Girls movie musical, how no one knew that it was a musical.
It was so bizarre. I mean, but that's what they've been doing for the last like 2-3 years. Like Wonka, you wouldn't have known that was a musical. Even The Color Purple, you wouldn't have known that was a musical. And like, I understand it for some of those ones because they're more niche,
right.
You know? But like for Wicked, like it's an iconic musical. It's like not having singing in if they were making a Hamilton movie. Like what?
Completely bizarre.
In this trailer.
Completely bizarre.
Like, okay, our next song is which song do you find yourself humming most? What is this feeling? Dancing Through Life, One Short Day, or For Good?
For me, it's between For Good and One Short Day.
For humming, I think I would say One Short Day. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's more hummable.
Yeah.
More humble. I would probably pick Popular though if I was saying any
really
Wicked song that I would be humming.
Yeah.
Yeah. What landmark in New York City would you like to visit? Statue of Liberty, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Brooklyn Bridge. I can't talk.
I know, it's like
Flatiron Building.
Not the
out of these for sure would be the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Definitely.
Out of these, the Statue of Liberty is not fun to visit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All three of these other ones are visiting concrete.
Right.
You're staring at concrete. Like they're beautiful from a distance.
Yeah.
Looking at, but like when you actually go visit them, it's just looking at concrete. They're not in long lines.
Nicer if you pass by it. Like I live kind of near the Flatiron Building, and I pass it, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Or when you see the bridge, oh, it's beautiful. Statue of Liberty. But to actually go. Definitely Matt.
And I've said it many, many, many times, but Empire State Building, overrated. It's not fun. You wait in this long line and you get up to the top and it's just like this, it's like staring, it's not staring at cement, it's staring at chain link fence.
Yeah, which is so funny because I live there and I've never been.
Why did I wait in that huge line? Like it's just not fun to me.
Yeah.
No. I would rather do almost anything in New York than go to the Empire State Building.
Anything.
I really would. I'd just rather just stay home and take a nap.
Yeah, you're like, I'm okay. I can just rest up for my shows.
Yeah. What's your favorite activity? Reading, exercise, travel, or social media?
Ooh, I mean, it's not social media. I guess reading or travel for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, travel, it can be such a mixed bag.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had trips that were just awful. It just seems like everything goes wrong.
Like,
you know,
this is so stressful. Like reading is always relaxing and lovely.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have like a bad book, like, I mean, you can always put it down. Yeah. It's hard not to pick travel, but I mean, who would pick social media as their favorite activity? I mean, I like it for what it is.
Yeah,
like,
and a way to
favorite activity. People. Who would pick that over travel?
I love that social media.
Yeah.
Social media, baby.
Well,
I could really go with either of those.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do reading. Okay, what quality is most important to you in a friend? Loyalty, sense of humor, adventurous, intelligence. I would say
it's probably loyalty or sense of humor. Okay, so loyalty,
I think. Finally, pick another Stephen Schwartz musical. So Pippin, Godspell, Children of Eden, and Prince of Egypt.
Okay, this is probably not yours. My favorite is Children of Eden. I love Children of Eden.
I do love Children of Eden. I've seen Godspell.
I do like Godspell.
And I enjoyed that. I have not seen Pippin. I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen it. I would love to. I haven't seen Prince of Egypt yet. They're doing it
Oh,
they're doing it
I haven't
at
seen it
Hale
either.
Hale Theater where we're going today. They're doing it
Oh,
in
yeah.
the but I have seen the pro shot that they did in
Oh,
London.
I
That's on
haven't.
Broadway HD.
Is it amazing?
It's not amazing, but like it has
Like,
amazing
no.
moments. Like almost all of the animation turned Broadway musicals, almost all of them feel bloated because they are.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's maybe Beauty and the Beast and Lion King, but aside from those two, all the added songs are always weak.
We don't need
always.
it. We don't need
And
it.
yeah, even if they're serviceable, they're just you're like, okay, this is why they didn't have it. Even in Beauty and the Beast, like Human Again, and some of those added songs that like there are some that are amazing, like Home and stuff, but like
Home is great.
And the Lion King's like I think a little bit different because most of the songs added were actually written for the movie, but then weren't used.
Yeah.
Like Shadowlands and things like that. And so like almost all of them. I think Hunchback is one that the added songs improve and add a lot. But for the most part, and this is certainly the case with the Prince of Egypt, all the new songs are terrible. And it's just, I mean, it's hard because it's one of my favorite anime films.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. But I'm excited to actually see it.
Especially at Hale, that place.
And one of my favorite, Ethan Kelso, who I hope we can have on the pod sometimes. He is so good. He was a Jimmy Awards winner, nominee or whatever. He's an incredible singer and incredible talent. He did a Bright Star that Bright Star. Amazing. He's one of the best in Utah. And so I think he's playing Ramses.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I know he's in it. So anyway, I'm really excited to see that. I mean, if I was going on the movie, I would definitely pick Prince of Egypt for sure. Yeah. In Godspell, I saw a really interesting production of. It was actually at BYU, which was a very edgy pick for BYU, which is a very conservative, school and everything. So for them to do it was very surprising. So of course I had to see it. But it was very interesting. They had it all set in this like schoolyard, and I mean, I've never seen it any other places, so like I don't know, I guess what to compare it to, but like it felt like a lot of creativity happening. Yeah. But none of the songs really stood out that much to me. I would agree, since I haven't seen Pippin. Yeah. I would agree with Children of Eden.
Such pops. Oh, we're Alphabet!
Yay! All right. I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I think you would more likely to be Linda. But let's see. We have another one. We have another one. So let's see.
We have another one.
The combination of the two of us.
There's no in between. You're either 100% Glinda.
Okay. All right. What is favorite Wicked song? Wizard of Eye, Popular, No Good Deed, or Other?
So I actually like. You'll probably pick Popular. I like The Wizard and I better than Popular. The Wizard and I is so good. No Good Deed, definitely not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's fine, but...
Also, I do like Others better.
I mean, the fact they don't have Defying Gravity on here is bonkers.
Yeah, like, so is that the Other?
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah, do you want to do Other?
I mean, I feel like that's the best song.
It is. Totally.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Did it work? Okay. I think it worked. Okay. All right. What do you... prefer doing?
Gosh,
reading, socializing, dancing, or sleeping?
We already established we love reading, though.
We do love reading.
People are gonna be like, they picked reading over travel, and said, I do love. No, I love sleeping. Sleeping is great.
Wait, did it work? Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay. Oh, we got a comment. Favorite activity is really hard. I like all those. I guess I enjoy reading the most, but exercise is right behind. I love my gym time.
Yeah.
Well, I wish that, I mean, I wish I need to follow your example.
But you swim, so that's
the swim. Yeah,
that's
exercise. True. During the summer, I love it. Yeah. The pool, if the pool had been an option.
If the pool. Yeah.
or even more, the open water swimming is, I like.
I'm so scared to do that, but I admire you.
How many good friends do you have? Not none.
Not none. 1 to 3 or 4 to 5.
What classifies as a good friend?
That's what classifies as a good friend.
Well, I mean, I think I do have 6+.
6+.
Like, not if you're it depends. Like,
Depends what.
because I would consider all of the co-hosts of the podcast.
Okay, that's
good
true. If we're
friends.
saying good friends,
but
I also consider my sister a good friend.
But
obviously
if it's considering like people that I have spent physical time with,
no, I don't think it needs to be that, because also I think about
I mean, definitely like Stanford and Jen are my two best friends here in Utah. And then of course you and like I said, all the co-hosts for Hallmarkies podcast are really good friends of mine.
Yeah, we can say 6+.
I think 6+. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
You're like, not none. Oh, I already know what mine is, even though I don't read Harry Potter.
It's considering that that I'm literally doing this with a friend. It couldn't be none.
Yeah, it couldn't be none.
So if you know Harry Potter, what is your Hogwarts house?
I'm Hufflepuff.
Same.
Yeah.
I knew it would be the same.
Yeah, we're Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Okay. But by the way, it makes absolutely no sense given, I mean, the house system makes no sense, period.
Right.
But that it makes no sense that Hermione isn't a Ravenclaw. It makes absolutely no sense.
Right?
She's like, her whole thing is knowledge.
Yeah,
and like
they just all the ones in the, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know if there was a stage music. I don't know if there was a stage musical, Prince of Egypt. I don't follow musicals super closely most of the time. That is so cool. There's a musical of it. I need to see it now. So if you go on to like Amazon and look up Prince of Egypt musical, you can watch it on Broadway HD. You'll have to sign up for a trial. Yeah. But like you get it for like 7 days, so you just cancel it when you're done. So you can watch it, the pro shot on there if you want. So
I want to do that.
I did a whole video last year on all the pro shots that I saw last year. So I talked about like Spirited Away, the musical, a bunch of different ones, Titanic the musical. They did a pro shot last year, things like that. And I'll definitely do a similar one. And I don't know if you got tickets next or this month now, it's November. Kiss Me Kate. Pro shot is in theaters.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you should check it out. And of course we did Jane Eyre. That was so fun.
That was awesome that we got to do that together.
That was really cool. Anyway, so Hufflepuff, we both agree. Okay. Finally, who is your favorite character other than Glinda and Elphaba? Fiyero, who's Lear?
I don't know. I was just going to say, I've got to Google that. Who is that?
Elphaba's son? Who?
I
guess that's in the book. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut for us. So we're talking about the musical. I'm gonna go with.
I think you got to go with Nessa.
Yeah, and actually, my friend Natalie is playing her on Broadway right now, and she's doing a beautiful job. So let's go.
At least they didn't have the Goat Man. The Goat Man so much.
Goodness me, oh my! Like, are you kidding me?
Oh!
You were popular. See this? Your 6 friends put it over.
Yeah,
I blame you that we're Glinda this time. Just kidding.
But I feel like actually that's more accurate.
Yeah.
Like because we're both pretty bubbly personalities.
Yeah.
I think the Glinda.
Yeah, the Glinda. I think that it was just interesting because I feel like the reading probably tipped us over into Elphaba because she loves knowledge.
Right.
We're a little bit of both, you guys.
There we go.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what else. I started to come up with some questions based on Wicked, but like we talked about favorite Wicked song. If you had to pick, Idina or Kristen?
I'm a Kristen girly. What about you?
Idina. I mean, I've seen her twice. I've never seen Kristen. I would love to. So I think I have a bit of a bias.
Yeah.
But they're both brilliant. I do wish that, I mean, Idina has done some projects non-singing, but Kristen has done so many, and I'm always just like, why? Like, why are you wasting your time on like RV in the movie?
Sing,
like,
baby, just
sing. Like, you only have like a precious resource of time. And I guess it's fine if you want to do stuff like Pushing Daisies and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But like, I don't know. I just, some of her projects, I'm just like, why are you wasting your time with this? Like, why?
No, her Netflix movie is coming out for Christmas. I wonder if she's going to sing in that.
Oh, yeah.
With Lindsay Lohan and Tim Meadows. I'm curious if she'll sing. It doesn't seem like she would need to sing in it.
I give that a whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just love her. So I'm like,
well, yeah. I mean, I've really enjoyed Lindsay's.
First one?
Well, I've enjoyed her Netflix movies because they've been like, there's been a screwball element to them, and they've been very silly. And this just sounded kind of, it sounded like it wasn't going to have that. Yeah. And I don't like, I particularly Christmas movies, but I'm not a big fan of like family shenanigans and family fighting movies. Right. Like, we reviewed The Family Stone. We
talked
about that.
Tough for both of us.
Yeah, we didn't like that. I mean, Kristen Chenoweth is also in Four Christmases, which I famously hate.
Oh yeah, she is in that.
That movie has 5 Oscar winners.
Wait, who is in that?
It has Reese Witherspoon, as Mary Steenburgen, as Sissy Spacek, as John Voight, and
holy moly! Holy moly!
There's another one I can't think of.
I love Sissy Spacek. She's so great.
You're like, why? They couldn't come up with.
Why?
Oh, Robert Duvall's in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so you're like,
you have an embarrassment of riches.
You couldn't have come up with something better.
What? I love that.
Yeah. If we were gonna do, if Terry and I were gonna do our like a worst Christmas movies, because we've done worst Hallmark Christmas movies, and my worst one was the Brooke D'Orsay God Wink movie. It was so bad. Yeah. I hated it so much.
They seem like they've put the Godwinks to bed.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Like, they need to put them. There were some moments, but we need to.
They were so bad.
It's the end of an era.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying the Dayspring movies are perfect, but I think they've been way better. And like, the thing is with Hallmark is that they try to like walk the line between like keeping the faith-based crowd happy, but not actually like providing them any real content. And then they do it with When Calls the Heart all the time. And Godwinks was like the ultimate example of that. We're going to like walk the talk of like making faith-based content, but we're not actually going to make faith-based content. So then it ends up satisfying nobody.
Yeah, I was going to say nobody actually likes that.
You know, and like the Dayspring movies at least like lean a little bit more to that side, you know, and like actually have like characters that are a pastor and like going, there's a nativity scene in one of them, things like that. I mean, I think they could still even go further because it's only like 2 or 3 movies a year. Why not? You know, like
also,
who cares?
I don't necessarily think that faith-based content alienates people who aren't religious.
If it's done right.
If it's done right, I do. If it's about the story, and if it's not just preachy, same thing if like a movie has a very political bent. Agenda-based films, I think, aren't as interesting because you're like, oh, I want to see the story. But if you tell
a good story,
yes, I don't think it's gonna, because the specificity. There's this quote that's like, generality is the enemy of all art. And it's like, yeah, if you're kind of just going in there doing whatever, I think you're exactly right. It doesn't please anybody.
Yeah. And so I'm glad. And I also was glad that they started doing the Dayspring movies because the like Great American Family people were acting like they had like a monopoly on the faith-based market. They were the only ones making like pure content, clean content, whatever that means. And so I just kind of loved that Hallmark was like, we can do that too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We can get
Yes.
And they've done way better than anything that.
Well, and even you and I
been better.
You and I have said absolutely, like there's so much like clean content that isn't actually labeled as such.
Right.
And these companies don't have a monopoly on it. Like even think about Babysitters Club, like the new Babysitters Club.
Yeah, that was so
it was
good.
so
I wish it had gone
great.
Longer.
Me too.
I was sad.
And just I would say that's clean content. Yeah. That's family friendly for the most part.
Well, no, because those people that are radicals, the fact it has like one of them is trans, you know,
right.
Or you know, things like that.
People don't think that
binary. One of them, or maybe it wasn't trans; it was non-binary. I can't remember.
It's been a while since I watched it.
Dawn, I think, was non-binary. Yeah. That because you can't have people that express different identities or that exist as like their existence is offensive to these people, which is insane
It's
and
wild.
ridiculous. But yeah, so that's where they would come out on
That's where
that
they
one,
would
which
come
is
out.
ridiculous because if you know anything about, they would say, oh, well, the Babysitters Club is woke, but if you know anything about A.A. Milne, who wrote the books,
fine.
she was lesbian.
Yeah.
So, like,
And you've been reading Babysitters Club
yeah,
since you were a kid.
It's ridiculous. People are so stupid. But yeah, so I think that's all I had really prepared. We just thought it would be fun. So today we are going to see The Addams Family at Hale Theater,
which I'm so excited to go to Hale because every time we pass it, it's this huge place.
It is a huge complex that they have. They have a giant theater in the Round, which we won't be at. We'll be at their Jewel Box. And seeing The Addams Family. I've already reviewed it for rachelsreviewstheater.com. And I enjoyed it, but I'm excited because I get to see the other cast. They have a double cast. I
don't think I realized that.
So so the first time I saw it was on a Tuesday, so it's a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Oh, cast. Very cool.
So now I get to see Monday, Wednesday, Friday cast.
Is it an entirely different cast, or to some people? Oh, cool.
I think so. They might have. Sometimes they'll have like one person.
Yeah.
Like in Christmas Carol, I think the Scrooge is the same.
Yeah.
But or maybe they have two because they have so many showings of Christmas Carol. Like I think literally on Saturdays, I think they show it like 4 times or more.
They show it 4 times?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. It's so popular. I mean,
that's amazing.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
I have to see this schedule of how they do it.
Well, let me find it. So you can see how, like, so I've seen Christmas Carol since I started keeping track. Plus 2 more because there were 2 called Scrooge.
Yeah.
So I've seen Christmas Carol 11 times in 3 years.
Oh my god.
And it's just the reason why it is like guaranteed money.
Yep.
I mean, because people just make it part of their traditions, and people, and so
people wouldn't normally go to the theater like, oh, this is a family activity to go see Christmas Carol. I can see that.
Yeah. And you can see how many times I've seen Matilda.
Oh my gosh, you've seen Matilda
I've seen Matilda 7 times.
May we all? I don't know that.
That was so Hale Theater. It was really interesting this year. They tried to do all these premieres. And unfortunately, they are somewhat limited because their customer base, their audience is very conservative. They have a lot of older. You'll see that today. A lot of older patrons, and so they have a very limited content window that they can. And they, to be honest, have made some kind of cringe choices sometimes because of that, like things they did in Les Mis and things like.
Really,
you shouldn't have done that, but
you'll have to tell me about that offline.
Yeah. Like making changes to some of the lyrics. Like I think they have approval and they pay for it and stuff. Like, it's fine. But like still the fact they do it. Anyway, they and they're not the only ones. Like Tuacahn down in southern in St. George, they did the like cleaned up, it's official, it's approved, it's from MTI, whatever, cleaned up version of Jersey Boys. And so like no F words, no. And the thing with that though that can be frustrating is then like Pioneer Theater Company, when they want to do the actual real, version, authentic version, then people are scandalized by it.
Right.
People don't understand, and think
like, why are they adding all
these when they're doing the actual authentic one, and it's Tuacahn and Hale and some of these big venues that are actually doing the altered version, Anyway, so it's an interesting thing, but we're seeing Hale Theater, we're seeing Addams Family, which I have mixed feelings about, especially full disclosure, but it has its nice moments. It has its nice moments, and and the nice thing about Hale too is that just the spectacle is so big and fun, and so I always have a good time when I'm there.
Yeah, and we keep driving by. It would be such a tease if I wasn't going.
Yeah. And then we are seeing A Woman in Black at the Parker, and I just love the Parker Theater. You'll see it's a restored, it's got like an Art Deco style, and they have famously have a themed concessions, and they have a like 1950s kind of style soda fountain next door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where you can get like flavored sodas, kind of like
We have to do that. We
Yeah.
have to do that.
And but you can see all the that I saw at Parker.
I have to say, me coming to Utah was 95% because I want to hang out with you, and 5% Parker. This is my most anticipated show of the trip and my most anticipated theater because the Parker snacks. I've been like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love it so
I don't think
much.
I've ever been to a theater that's done that, which such a missed opportunity.
Yeah. So you can see I've seen 27 shows at Hale because they have 2.
So you can have both places.
And they've had some great stuff. They're Singing in the Rain. I saw 3 times because I absolutely adored
amazing.
it. That's my
Singing in the Rain is
favorite
great.
thing they've ever done there. I really loved it.
How's Magician's Elephant? I don't know that one.
So that wasn't one of their premieres. Yeah, maybe all was a premiere. The elephant puppet was absolutely amazing. It's probably the most amazing puppet I've seen on a show since aside from Lion King. It was really cool. They had like it actually had like a beating heart, and you could see it getting like more frail. It was this huge puppet, and like
that's incredible.
It was really incredible, but the show itself needs a lot of work. It was extremely messy. Like I felt like every song had there was a different protagonist to the musical. I said in my review, it was like a wandering protagonist. Like one minute it would be about this character, and the next minute, sometimes that could work. Like I call them introductorals. Like that's what Andrew Lloyd Webber does, is introductorals.
Yeah,
they're not actual stories. They're just getting introduced to characters the whole time. Yes. That's what Cats is. That's what Starlight Express is. That's what Joseph is. That's the other Andrew Lloyd Webber. I mean, it's pretty much just here's another character. Oh, then they get a fun song, and there's another character. So you can do that and whatever, it's fine. But like that's not what they were doing. It was like they were sort of telling a story, and maybe it makes more sense if you read the book. And but it was kind of like, what? Who's this person? Why are they getting a song? Like I'm confused.
Where are they now the star of the show? I love that wandering protagonist.
Because it was so convoluted. That made it boring, and there were literally people falling asleep all around me. Like it.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Like literally falling asleep.
Yeah, literally falling asleep. There was one girl who had like put her knees up and put her head on her knees.
She was just done.
She was done.
She was done. Wait, was it like a 3-hour show?
It was like I feel like almost every show these days is 2.5 hours. Yeah. Almost all.
She got in a really nice nap.
Unless you're 6, that's the only one. That's like 90 minutes.
Yeah. In and out, baby.
Yeah. But anyway, they did these, and then The Nutty Professor, that was another premiere. It was probably the strongest of the premieres that they tried. And I particularly liked, there was a song in there called Everything You've Learned is Wrong, or something like that. Something like that. Everything you taught is wrong. It kind of had a similar energy to Love Thy Neighbor in the prom. And which I think is the best song in that show as well. Yeah. I like the prom. I think it has a big heart. And so and I also love the fact that you're going to have all of these high schools eventually doing the prom.
That's why
and like, what can people can't fight against it, because then they're the villains of the show.
There's something brilliant about that.
Yeah, which is great. So I like that. But I think that I just wish that they didn't really have the celebrities.
I don't think they needed it.
No, I think the story of the girl and her wanting to go to prom with her girlfriend is enough.
That's compelling enough.
Yeah.
That's compelling enough. Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know that I would change, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything. Well, let us know what you think of all the things that we talked about. And I'm going to be doing another live stream I think on Thursday, where I'm going to update on all, one of my Stage and Screen updates, because I have tons of movies and shows to update on, and even more tomorrow. I'm going to see 2 movies.
You got a busy day tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'm going to see 2 movies, and I'm seeing a show.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm going to see Misery, but it's not at a theater. It's actually in the ceramics class of a local
It's gonna be
college.
awesome.
Yeah, and so like you actually step into, it's like almost like a haunted house
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
which I'm really excited about. I think it's gonna be super fun. And then on Sunday I'm seeing this show about Columbine, and so that'll be intense.
Yeah, that is gonna be it. That's not a musical, right?
No, it's not a musical.
Can you imagine?
No.
Um,
But yeah, so that'll be intense. But anyway, so I got a lot to update on, and make sure you check out Hallmarkies podcast because we have updates on all of the latest Hallmark movies, Christmas movies,
And there's a
more.
lot.
Yeah, more. And you know, Heartland and all the other fun stuff. So check that out. And there we go. I think we got it all.
Yay!
Bye.